if there is anyone who knows me today, I have the surprise. I will not talk about holacracy. I promise. I made it so many times that today I will choose different topic, which is very, very important for me because it's built on the real experience and the scars, injuries, and the pain. And the pain when you are the owner of the company, it means not only the pain, it means money and your family and everything around. So it's like the true pain. And I'm not the product person from the education, but I've spent almost 18 years right now building more than 100 products for the customers and with the customers we have. So this kind of experience from 3 continents, many countries, seeing the product in all the stages, like from the idea through the growth, the dyings of the products as well, many of that, is giving me the privilege to say things without any special data. It is about the data, it is about experience, it is about many reports we've read, about many talks I had, but it's not the data with the numbers you've seen for 2 days here. So it will be very subjective. And maybe you will hate what I'm saying. It will be about the product people, and about the product journey. And we've started around, let's say, 11 years ago. The company was almost 8 years existence, and we decided to be different. We do it a lot, but then we decided to be different from other software houses, selling people for the hours or the software, the real good one. We decided to build products, digital products, because the DNA of the company is based on the idea to solve the problems. So if we want to solve the problem, we have to dig and ask many questions and digest what is really important and what is worth to be built. That's why it wasn't very difficult for us to start with product thinking. Especially the world there and the community then were like, let's say, prepared. Roman Pichler, 2010, the great book till today, Agile Product Management in Scrum, and his really wise sentence that the product manager or the owner then is responsible for the outcome for the business and the business value of the product. So it wasn't something new, but it was new in our industry. We've been around 50 people then. So we decided to do it. We decided to do what every startup, every new company does. So let's go there. It's once upon a time part right now. So we are here. So the DNA and everything was based on the theory, of course, but as well the experience of digging in. And as every company starting, we didn't have any special people. We just splitted responsibilities through the people we had. And as almost every time at the beginning, founders, all the leaders were involved. Involved in being close to the customer, asking right questions to build the product. With some knowledge, of course. We had the books, we had the experience, we had many failures as well. And it was working for some years. But when you grow, you want to specialize, you want to be better. So in 2019, we decided to create special product roles, like very, let's say, dedicated ones, but different types of roles. It was about the growth, it was about helping our customers, it was some kind of service we could add to software development to build the product together with the customer, because sometimes they didn't have this opportunity to understand even how do they want to do it. And it was working. We've been spreading the responsibility, the roles were coming, and as always, we wanted to be better. And in 2022, we had a special team, special force of 6 product strategists, people helping directly to the customers as a consultants, but of course working on the field as well. The great team of great people, really. A great money for that as well. It was an investment. And of course, investment means risk, so there is no surprise that it can be failure or not. But it wasn't at the beginning. We just wanted to transform our company and transform the service we do for a real product building. And we did it. It was some kind of promise, but the promises are just the promises without the real connection with the reality, and the real connection came. And, the market does what it always does. It calls us bluff, tada, let's check. It wasn't only our problem. 2022-23 is a very hard time for the industry of software development companies, not only us. And everybody is promising then the product thinking. Everybody is building product, everybody is digital product builder, something, and sometimes without a substance, structure, even experience. And what once was a real value turns into a slogan. And I know you saw it a lot, I think, in many kind of companies. So we have processes, we have roles, some tools, but customers stop paying. They just stop paying for the services. They say stop. They ask uncomfortable questions. They stop the investments in IT, product departments. They just want to pause or to finish or to stop. And they are not paying slower or in a different way. They just stop paying. So the industry is shaking. And for us, crisis means very tangible things. For the first time in the history of our company, we are losing 3 from 5 clients, big ones, within a year. It means it's a disaster for a service company because we do not have any own product. We serve. The second thing is that they are they don't want to work with us, but they are saying no, very direct no, 9 times for the product consultants roles. They say no, we don't need these people. And they say very, very difficult sentences. This is the real sentence we listen, that we are smart asses. We lecture. We do not help. We do workshops, but we are not bringing value. And I think the worst one is that our consultants are not touching the reality, Anna. One CEO is asking me, how it's even possible that you make profit with this company? These people are useless. And of course, it's hard because they don't find value for the money. So it means that they are really right. Whatever I can think about it, they are right because they don't pay. And we break the promise we made to the market, to ourselves, to our people, to everybody. So it's time to wake up. As an owner of the company, you have to wake up at this moment. Either you can just quickly exit and sell the company for nothing. But if you wake up, you try to have some findings or discoveries. So it takes time. Right now, it's quite simple to say, but it took a long of time. The first discovery is that we put our people in the crystal ball. The product people were hidden in some kind of glass ball, a little bit outside from developers, a little bit outside from customers sometimes, from the business for sure. They live somewhere, and we treat them well, and we give them all. But they are somewhere. definitely not close to the business. The same thing, but from the different perspective, is with Scrum Masters. We do not have, in 2023, Scrum Masters. We have mood caretakers. It was like, mind-blowing thing, but of course it didn't happen just in a minute. But no product strategist, no product people close to the customer, and no Scrum Masters. It's like nothing. This is not what you want to realize as a software company. And it means that, for example, it's time to read Agile Manifesto for next time in your life. And, Agile Manifesto, you know it very well. It's about taking care not to build too much documentation. But I look around and I see people wrapped in canvases. Everybody is like with everywhere. Canvases for everything. Everywhere, everybody. It's about me as well. This is not only about them, it's about me as well. We use it a lot. And this is the documentation, to be honest, in this kind of sense. The last but not least, it was some kind of fantasy in our industry that specialization will give us freedom and everything. So we realized that we have people for quality, people for design, people for backlog, people for people, but we do not have people understanding what we are really doing and what is the value of it for the customer, because we are a service company. We are not doing it for ourselves. So we have tools, we have canvases, we have people, we have roles. We have 208 people then. And we don't have the value at the end, because value is nothing you can plan. We planned it, but it's built, it has to be defended. And I realized that we do not defend the value anymore, anyhow. And the result is that we are developer staffing agency again, maybe, or nothing more. So it's not the dream for me or anybody involved there. But we are not the only one. It was a time I saw many corporates with product something, and the startups with product-led growth on the website, with no product, let's say, environment inside. So we are just looking around and we start talk with people to help each other. We start read the reports, we start do some things to find the right question. And the question is coming, it's nothing really my type question, but it's coming from everywhere. Why it's so hard to find good product people? Why? What did we do wrong? And we have some, let's say, this is not any data, but it's some kind of result of the search. We've been recruiting people rise in the boom, not in the crisis. Almost every PM or UX or designer or owner is a person who started their career in a big boom, with a quick access to the roles, with a high demand, and with very low entry barriers. Everybody was needed, and we just wanted people. And it's a little room for critique, but this is the little room for experience as well. Because you can't experience when you are 26 or 35, but you just do product work for 4 years or 5. What is the experience that? And these people have the knowledge, but they do not have any experience with profit and loss, for example. They do not experience the whole path, the whole process. They do not experience the moment when the company is failing and losing the money and the product is connected with that. So they have tools, but they do not have experience. So they can do discovery, and we can do like plan the roadmap, build some hypotheses for the research and so on. But the tool-based knowledge, it's really different than system-level understanding. And system-level understanding is not built by 2 years of work with no experience. And of course we did it. For example, we did structural and cultural separation between business and IT. And we've been there, but it was like quite typical. And it's not about separation, it's about building two different worlds. As IT or Agile, we've been learning how to iterate, how to build things, but the business was planning still quarterly in the same company. So it was kind of, two Icelands, two worlds, business, product, delivery, and so on. Different OKRs, different leaders, and a different language at the same company. And this is really mine, and it's about experience, but it will be tough and hard and not fair. But it was a huge lack of people who really delivered anything in their life. Like, truly. Very few people who led their teams through the whole cycle of birth and death of the product. Really few people experiencing ROI of anything they built. And a lot of people without experiencing the risk or the loss. So people without accountability. And we've been not building any kind of environment for them. So yeah, this is the moment, the second moment to wake up, and I realized that I have to do it. There is nobody doing it besides me. Of course, I'm not alone. I have people around me. But I don't know really longer. I don't longer know who I am and who is the company. What is it? What is it about? So yeah, it's time to look in the mirror. And only one thing I have, which is really building me somehow and giving me a strength, is the feedback from the customers. They say that I'm good in product discovery, and when I'm with them and I work with them, they see the value. So it's something you can catch. Of course, it's not any magical skill I have. I do not believe that one person can have all the magical skills, but it has to be something. So let's dig inside. What is it? Because I'm not the product person from the education. So what is inside? What we can build on? And besides me, I have the books. And Michał Nowak was mentioning yesterday Silicon Valley Product Group. I really recommend this till today. And Marty Kagan, he wrote a book, many books, but in Inspired and Powered, this kind of books, he's talking about very important things about the business in the product. Just like that. That the product manager who carries responsibility for the customer value is responsible for the business value as well. There is not only a user, there is a business there. Or I have some findings not very pleasant, like a build trap. I'm sure that you know it, and you've been there someday, or your organization has been there. Build trap is when you build features, when you build product, when you launch projects, when you deliver software, but you fail to deliver value. You're just building, and we've been there. And we did it for our customers as well, sometimes. Have you been there? Yes, one hand and one. The second, yes, the strong one. It's very difficult to realize that you are there because all the metrics are okay. All you have. This is very important. The company gets lost in the act of doing. Do you know it? It's the act, so you are not passive, you are acting. Success is measured by the number of releases and completed Jira tasks. We do it till today. I see it when customers are coming with all the data and it's about the releases tasks. Even it's about epics, it's not the same what Michał was mentioning yesterday. Epic, it's sometimes nothing tangible. but they have the numbers. And the product people are evaluated based on output, not outcome. And we did it as well. So if it would be so simple, I could just finalize the presentation and say it's all about people and it's their fault and that's it. But it's not so simple. And this is like a very hard part of being a leader. If it would be so simple, we will be so happy. But it's not, I think, too systemically, to believe that. So if it's about people, let's dig what does it mean to be responsible. We need people accountable. But we really don't know what does it mean. Because they say they are, and we believe they are. But we know that day that the product thinking, it's not a skill. You can just teach. It's some kind of curiosity. It's some kind of experience in your life. And it's some kind of connection with the reality. This is the thing we know. And we know that we need people who have experienced real failure. And we are starting recruiting people with such an experience. It can mean many things. It's like a failure is a, let's say, complex concept. But if you can't find it, at least these people have to understand that the project that brings no result is just the cost, not the learning. I was so exhausted with this word. This is my learning. Okay, yes. But sometimes the learning is the bigger learning than the other one. And it's the cost or the pain. Can we name it like that? Did you experience it? And of course, there is a lot of places in which you can find it. So we are starting to look for small CEOs. Good product manager has a deep business knowledge. Deep business knowledge. And he knows what business failure looks like. When the product design or product decision go wrong, what does it mean for the business? So definitely it's something to change. You have to change the recruitment, your culture, everything to find this kind of people because it's not easy, but they are there. And of course, it's not only about the people, so you have to do many things in the company as well, if you have them, if you recruit them. And first thing you can do, I think the most important thing is to build one dictionary, one language. Because the product is not any kind of interpreter between the departments. If the business is saying, for example, value and IT is about the deadline or product is about the user, you can't build the environment in which everybody is understanding what they are doing from the business perspective. So the first thing is to try build it together, to rebuild everything. And for the owner means that it's you again. But it's like part of the job. So what do we do? We change the structure. We have some guys in the company working for 18 years that they are saying, oh, and I've been there with you like 7 times, the structure change again. Yeah, but we did it again. I really believe in this power. But it was a shift from the idea of specialization-based structure to business-oriented one. We are split it into small business units, very complete business units. Today I should call it reteaming, but I don't know if it's reteaming. But it's definitely about having the team oriented to the business goal, not the specialization, for example. And in holacracy, you make whatever you want, unfortunately. The second thing is that everyone on support means that leaders and the teams are all the time connected and They are all the time in touch with the client's feedback, almost every day. And the business results of the client's business. Sometimes we have to interpret it, sometimes we have to prepare it to show to the Scrum team, for example, but they have the connection with it all the time. And they have the connection with profit and loss, for example. They have the connection with the data about which feature is making the biggest profit for the customers, not only the data from the product. We pair product owners, product designers sometimes, with somebody from the business perspective from our company. Even the customer don't have it. We offer such a consultancy for free because it's our quality right now. Somebody understanding business and knowing what kind of questions to ask. And yeah, we recruit differently. For example, our agile people, we recruit people with the experience of some kind of business, or at least a failure in the business, or at least understanding the failure of the business. So we are very open to people with different experience before. And for example, I don't know, 7 years ago, jumping into different world, the agile world, but with some kind of understanding of a leadership, of the numbers, of the financials, for example. And this is connected very much with skin in the game. I really believe that skin in the game is the silent grow. Everything, if you have skin in the game in everything what you do, it will work. And we realize our huge openness and holacratic structure was covering our eyes for some time, that the real skin in the game in our company is no bench. So if the product is ending or is failing, or the customer is saying bye-bye, you don't have the job. So you have to find the job for yourself. Because you can find the job in other places, but if you don't, it's the time to let you go. And it was so tough for us to realize that the real skin in the game is coming from the real failure or consequence. But we did it, and it's like that. If the product is, let's say, ending for somehow, people take care about the ending or the growth. The second skin in the game is that we do not have any sales team anymore. We are selling together with engineers and with designers from the beginning. There are special roles for that because they understand all the path. From the first requirement of the customer, they are with us together with the business. They are listening these difficult, sometimes stupid questions at the beginning, and they are answering it. So this is the skin in the game. And of course, the metrics, I would not say more. You know the power of the metrics, but it's very easy to, jump into the metrics you really love and you are comfortable with. It's really difficult to have the metrics like, I don't know, business results. What does it mean? It means different things for different customers, but it's easier to measure velocity. It's very easy with many tools. And making it like a wrap-up, it will become some kind of 7 survival rules. The first one is hire those who have lost money before. It's difficult, but possible. It can be any kind of money, but they experience the loss of the money of the customer or themselves. Or at least they build something by their own. If not, if you don't have these people and you can't hire them, build the environment for them when they can at least touch the idea of losing money because of the decisions they made. And the other, let's say, rule or tip is based on the questions I want to ask you. Does anyone on the team know the cost structure and margin of what they are building? Not the number of, I don't know, anything. The cost structure of the product and the margins, not only the general one, but the deeper ones. Do developers and designers know which part of the product brings the most revenue, not clicks? And do you look at sales data together each month with all of your company? All the data. The hidden data about losing money. You know where you can find it. Has the team ever analyzed churned clients? I really believe that retention and churn are the key metrics in any company for everybody. Because you can answer many, many questions when you dig inside that. And do people understand why customers stop paying, for example, or stop using the product? Do they really know why? And how many? And has the team ever analyzed it? And of course, measuring, reinvent your measuring if you want to be close to the business, and if you want to have product people building the good products. And of course, it's about defining ownership. I could have the separated speech. How difficult it is to build ownership, and in holacracy as well, in any kind of system. But I think that you know it. It's like crucial who is responsible at the end. And do people talk about being something like it's done or it's worth to be done, for example. And of course, education and transparency together educate everybody with the same things. I really hate the idea that developers, they don't care or they don't know what to do. They don't want to know some things. I don't think so. It's about preparing the data to be shown, not about developers not understanding or they don't care about the profit and loss. They care, but maybe not with the Excel for 100 pages. So it's about the mechanism of responsibility. And yes, you don't have to be a cruel dictator. You don't have to be a cruel manager to do it. It's possible in self-organization. It's not about, doing something wrong to people. It's about the boundaries. And we had the speech in the morning about that. And why it's so important and why I'm staying here, because I really believe that we are responsible. I am responsible for those people without the work right now, without the job, looking for the job around and writing these long posts on LinkedIn. Product people are losing their jobs, young people mostly. And we are responsible for that. Because we are responsible how to build this community environment and what do we promise to our customers or our managers in the companies, in the product companies as well. And we steer this whole. So yeah, tough job, but possible. I don't know if the result will be the success story. It has been many success stories today and yesterday. I'm not sure if it's a success story, but it's worth to try. And if you can't or you don't want to build this kind of environment, fire these people. It's better for you and for them, for sure. Because they are staying alone. And they are alone. And this is one of the big, sad results of our research. They've been alone with the knowledge, with the conferences, with the structure within the company. They were in the bubble, quite happy for some time, but at the end, very alone. And if you want to check anything from your company, you want to check if you are both product-led organization or business-led product, it's just a checklist you can use and answer some difficult questions. There are some questions for the corporates, some questions for the companies like ours. But maybe if you have 1 or 2 ticks, you can sleep well today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. I was busy making pictures, so I didn't follow all the questions. I'm going to start from the last one. I get more of them, but probably during the lunch we can ask them. So the question is, why is transparency a foundation rather than a virtue? All right. That's
Sorry.
easier. That's fine. That's my English.
No, that's my way of thinking. Why is transparency as foundation rather than a virtue? It's like asking about that the gods exist or something.
That would be the next question.
No, it's like, to be honest, when you are just, you take this step through this threshold from not transparent world to the transparent one, you don't remember how it was there. I don't remember, really. And that's why maybe it's so obvious for me, but I see some results in the company. And of course, sometimes it's tough. We have the rule that every week, Beata, how many times we have the financial results? Every week, in the morning, on Monday. I thought it's 1 per 2 weeks. Every week there is a full financial data for all of the company. About the profit, loss, how are we? And of course, there are some people for whom it was too much, and they are working in the different companies right now. But there are some saying that this is the only one thing they really need to feel that they are a bolder part. And this is the same thing with the transparency you need when you make changes. You will have people not ready for it. And of course, you have to manage it. I'm not saying about the transparency like radical, totally. We do not have transparent, for example, the, I don't know, the salaries. But if you don't want to say every day the same things and to explain everything 1 million times, give people the option to interpret. And then you talk with them. That's why I think it's crucial. It's about the change management, I would say. Very difficult question.
That's why I asked the last one. Okay, the second hopefully will be easier. I'm gonna do one more because of the little delay at the very beginning. So how do you understand the documentation principle? So what are the canvases referring to?
It was, of course, some kind of example because I understand the documentation as a needed element. We need to document things. It's about what is the purpose of doing it. And when I was talking about canvases, it's very easy, like in the, let's say, like in the waterfall, the documentation for us as software developers was always some kind of part of something you can use in the court, something you can just put on the desk for the CEO and saying, you promised me. This is the same with canvases. You can use the canvas and you can use it well. It's really needed. Or you can cover yourself with it. There is empty inner something and canvases all around. And we've been doing it for the customers. For example, after product discovery, and it was like 3 or 4 days of workshop, we gave them 1 tone of canvases for everything, like business model canvas. It's like the easiest one. Without any kind of recommendation or result. Interpret it. Yeah, this is our work. And you pay for it a lot of money because our consultants are very, very good people. So it's about using these papers, not about having it itself. So the intention my intention was to show that the intention of documentation is really, really important.
All right. The next question you need to cover during the lunch. Once again, thank you for the adaptability and resilience at the very beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Zarudzka.
Thank you.